December, I put a video out announcing that I was going to make a CNC conversion on a SIEG 2.7, which is a fairly substantial little machine. And it's widely available all over the world. Grizzly sell them, so you know they're available in America, they're available in Europe and Australia. And since that time, I've had numerous people send me messages saying, "Oh, have you thought about this machine?" or "Have you thought about that machine?" Because they, you know, we've seen quite a few people make them, and you know they look a better machine, this, that, and the other. And others saying to me, "Oh, why don't I convert my large mill?" So this video is really putting it out there for a bit of a survey to so I can get some sort of direction, you know, of okay, what do you guys want to see? What machine would you prefer? Obviously patrons do get a greater say, but the majority of my patrons, laser and CNC router guys. I'm not quite sure how many are, you know, sort of related to like CNC Mill or lathe. I'm not quite sure. So, you know, I want to get some input from you guys. Now, judging by the information that people have sent to me, I've sort of narrowed it down to 3 because, you know, there becomes a limit to, you know, which machine to choose from. So I've sort of got it down to 3, and I'd like you to consider one of these 3. Okay, so you all know about the SIEG 2.7. It's, like I say, widely available, as is all 3 of the machines that I'm thinking about. And there's some of the specs, you know, and you can always get specs off the internet from Grizzly, Harbor Freight, Precision Matthews, they're a big one, and here in Forbes and SIG here in Australia. So this has got a, you know, sort of a fair travel on the bed. 50mm, which is, I don't know how many inches. 500mm I meant. That's 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20 inches in the X, which is a fair old size. Let me see, cross travel or Y-axis travel is 190, which is just a little over 7.5 inches travel in the Y. It's got a 750 watt spindle motor, which is 1 horsepower, and it's a direct drive. The only drawback with a direct drive is that low RPM, you know, 50 to 100 RPM, there's very little torque there. You've got some, but, you know, not too much. Although the higher RPM that you can get is always better for a CNC. And there's an old saying that the higher the RPM, the more material you can remove. And that is true to a certain extent. Okay, so you all know about the SIEG 2.7, and another thing to consider, right, for rigidity, and you can always tell, a good idea to tell the rigidity of a particular machine is the overall weight, which in this case is 135 kilos, which is a bit, let me see, 2.2 pounds a kilo. That's close to 300 pounds. So it's a substantial machine. And you can either have, let me see, you can either have MT3 taper in the spindle, or you can have R8, as I think a lot of them you can. I normally, all my machines here, they're all MT3, so I probably wouldn't go R8, but that's up to the individual in whatever machine that I do. Okay, so that's that one. Next machine. Let's make an enlargement. Not too large. Oh yeah. Okay, this is the Precision Matthews, or the PM30MV. You can get the specs. If you go to Precision Matthews, you should be able to get the specs on this. Quite a few people have expressed quite a bit of interest of this machine from America, Europe, and here in Australia. In Australia, it's sold by here in Forbes under the Optimum brand, but it's fairly identical. There is just one difference between them. They're exactly the same machine. Okay, but there's one slight difference for the Australian one. With the Precision Matthews, it's a straight belt drive, and it's a variable speed all the way up to 2,500 RPM. Larger motor. This one is 1.2 kilowatt, which is 1.5 horse. Pretty substantial. Obviously, larger machine than the SIEG. This one is approximately 400 pounds in weight, so it's quite substantial. The Australian version, which is the one I would be, if it's decided that is that one, Optimum, and it's the MH28V. So the one significant difference is it has a geared head. It has pluses and minuses. Geared head obviously is a little bit noisier when it's running, but the big plus is that you have a variable speed from 0 to, I think it's 1200 RPM in low speed, and then in high speed it's 0 to 2500. The overall operation of the machine is slightly bigger. It's a bigger. Let's put the Precision Matthews up, because the Americans there will understand what they're looking at. Okay. Okay, the Americans also understand me now. The travel is 480. There it is. 480, which is 480, that's exactly 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19 inches in the X, and it's quite big actually, although it's smaller than the SIG in travel. What matters is the Y travel as well, the combination of the Y and the X travel, and that's 220, which is 9 inches. of wide travel, which we can probably make an inch and a half to 2 inches more by taking out a little bit of material from the, as we can with all of them. So there's that one. Now then, and of course there's this one. So now this one is, I think, about 600 pounds in weight, which is sort of, you're looking at like 280 kilos. Precision Matthews PM727M. Okay, big machine, heavy machine, rigid machine. This is very similar to the one that I had, which I sold. In actual fact, it's identical. 2 horsepower motor, 6-speed, gear drive, not variable. This one will do a maximum of 1,650 RPM. Still very, very useful, very handy. You can, you can upgrade these to belt drive, as you can all of them, or should we say alter the belt drive. You can put a 3 horsepower motor, 3-phase motor on this and directly belt it up, and remove all the gears out of the gearbox head. Bigger job, but you've got no problem. You can get this going 4,000, maybe 5,000 RPM without any difficulty. Not too much difficulty anyway. Nice machine. The footprint of this, the X and Y travel. Y travel is 175, which is 175. That's 7 inches in the Y, and it's about 580, which is let's see, 500. Not 580, what am I talking about? 480, which is 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 19 inches in the Y travel. But the actual bed is larger, I think, than the others. But there again, fairly easy conversion. But there's one thing to remember. As the machines get larger, the cost goes up exponentially to convert them to CNC. It's no good putting, 2005 ball screws in the Z of this, right? And expect it to lift, 150 pounds up and down very quick. Even if you've got a NEMA 34 on the top. No, you'd have to use, 2505s, inch ball screws, big heavy ones like that, and double ball screws for the Z on this, and you get away with 2005s for the other two, but you're looking at the big, probably NEMA 34 all round with this, sort of the biggest ones you can get for the Z, 12 Newton meters, and probably you'd get away with a 5 Newton meter on the X and probably a 9 Newton meter on the Y. It's a lump to move around. So, like I say, the cost of a conversion kit goes up exponentially, you know, for the drivers, the power supplies, you know, it all gets bigger and more expensive. So, you know, you've got to think of these sort of things before you sort of go, you know, jump straight in with both feet. Oh, I'm going to convert that to a CNC machine. Although the cost of each machine is fairly close. They're all within $300 of each other. So that, you know, the cost of buying the machine isn't the problem. It's the cost of all the other stuff that you've got to put in it to make a CNC mill or convert it to a CNC mill. Although I do notice for all of these machines there are different companies around the world that produce and make kits, but they're expensive. And seldom do they supply the electrical kit, you know, stepper motors and what have you. It's just the ball screws and the bracketry. And you can pay $2,500 just for that. So, you know, keep that in mind. That's why when I do a conversion or when I do a build, you know, a CNC router build, people become patrons because all the build information, the drawings and everything are on my Patron pages. And they're for patrons. That's why they come to me, because they want to build a CNC router that's like 4 foot by 4 foot for about a third of the cost than what they're going to pay if they bring one in from China. Probably less than a third now, because there's tariffs on them all over the place now. Anyway, going off track a bit. Since Christmas and sort of hearing all these different things, you know, reading all these messages people have sent to me, I might go back a little bit. So far in the running, or shall we say in the lead, is the Precision Matthews PM30MV. Now, my way of thinking, which may put it in a different light to you. Okay, the PM727M, this is about the same work envelope as a Tormach 1100. Just to give you an idea of the size of machine and what you're letting yourself in for. Tormach 1100. Okay? Capabilities are at the end of it all. That sort of thing. And the Precision Matthews, no, I'm using the American variant because 65% of my viewers are American. This is what they understand. So that's why I use it as a example. Okay. The Precision Matthews PM30MV, this is in between the overall size and capabilities, is in between the Tormach 1100 and the Tormach 770. So this is in between them because it's got a larger movement in the bed than the 770. So it gives you an idea of the end product output then. And the SIG here is a step down, okay? So it's about the same sort of size as the 770, Tormach 770. But at the moment, the front runner, as I see it, is the Precision Matthews PM30MV. This is the machine that I'm getting most feedback from. So you can see my quandary. You know, if I go build, converting the SIG, it's going to, you know, I can't please everybody. But what I want to do is please most of you. So this is a bit of a survey then. I'm asking you for input. Please, you know, bash away at that blooming keyboard. Send a comment, you know. And if you send a comment, other people can see. And they can add to your comment. And let's get a conversation going down there under the video. And between, you know, you guys and my patrons, we'll come to a joint decision, and whatever that joint decision is, I don't really mind, you know, either way, I don't mind, because ultimately I want to produce videos and, you know, show you stuff what you want to see. So you would be helping me out greatly if you did, you know, sort of join in and send a comment down. If you don't want to put a comment for everybody to see, you can quite easily send me an email. Okay? You all know my email by now. So, and patrons, you know, send me a comment via Patron or my email. So that's the video today, and I'd be quite interested to see, you know, what the trend is going to be. And because, you know, it's coming to sort of decision time now, because, you know, it's not going to happen next month or even the month after. But sometime between now and Christmas, I've got to organise, you know, order the machine, get it here, and organise, you know, stepper motors. And I always use Stepper Online, actually. They've always been pretty damn good. And, you know, they give you all the written material bump that tells you the specs of everything that you buy from them. They're very good. So yeah, you know, it takes a bit of work in the background to actually start a big project like this. It's a pretty big project, especially when you consider that when you've stripped it down, you've got to measure everything up and then design, you know, the kit and everything. And of course I shall be using the CNC routers here to make the parts. It'd be interesting. I've got to finish the in between now and then. I'm going to finish the QueenAnt, I've only got the electrical to do on that. I have been held up a bit with other things that I've had to get done, but I shall be getting back to that. I know I've said that on a few videos, but something always crops up that I can't be up here. But that's all coming to all settling down, and I can spend more time up here. Oh, incidentally, I will say, because I've had a couple of comments actually, that I'm running the little SIEG X2 that I converted to CNC, which I've still got. It's over there, and I'll be using that too, because that will do steel. A couple of them asked, have said, why are you putting up 7-year-old videos? Well, the reason being is the first time when I made those, 8 years actually, I made those videos, I think it's 10 videos, something like that, of the conversion. And at the time, we didn't have a great internet. And when I uploaded a video, it used to take anything up to 12 hours. Terrible internet, because we're out in the country. And it wasn't until 6 years ago that we got fibre optic. And I had to pay for the fibre optic to come a mile to my house, because we've got a long driveway. We have farmland here, and that was quite expensive, but we got it. And actually we don't use that now, we use satellite. So anyway, cutting a long story short, the quality of the video that I could get loaded up was not good. And I found an external hard drive with all those videos on. So what I've done is I've enlarged them, because they were like a postage stamp, the resolution was brought right down. The screen was very much smaller, and people had a lot of complaints. So quite a few have asked to see if I could do anything about redoing them. So that's what I've done. I think I can get so at least one up a week or something like that, because it takes a little bit of time in my office to actually go through it again and get it all right and sort of redo the video. So anyway, I've got a much better system editing system, so that it's being re-digitized at a higher level, and it's been sort of digitally altered, some of the color filters and this, that and the other, because it was a bit strange, some of the videos. I don't really know what happened, but I think I was using a substandard camera at the time too, not like this one. This is what, $3,000 worth of camera, and I got better lighting now and things like that, so I can match the colours a little better. Anyway, rambling on a bit now, and yeah, so it'll be good to see what you've got to say about it all. And don't forget, like, subscribe, and if you really like what I'm doing, you could consider becoming a patron to the channel. Gotta keep on saying it, because it's true. If it wasn't for the patrons, I wouldn't be making videos. It's that bad. YouTube, I don't know what the hell they're doing. I don't know whether they're losing business or what, but there's no revenue left. Virtually nothing. I don't know what they're doing. I don't know whether they're going to last the course. I really don't. Because, you know, there are many people that started doing this sort of stuff, you know, whether it be wood turning or CNC or lasers. You know, I was one of the early ones. And they're just gone. And they were good channels. Some of them are that disgusted they've just deleted their whole channel. So you can't see their videos anymore. I find that a shame, because you know, these videos, I originally sort of started making these videos for, well, all ages really. Where are you going to go to learn how to use a laser, or learn how to use a CNC machine, or do a conversion? Where do you go to learn to do it? You turn to YouTube. Now, some people are doing the right thing, but some people are doing the wrong thing on YouTube. You know? Oh, look what I just made. I'm good. They don't tell you how they do it. They don't tell you how it's done. They don't tell you the background information that you must know. You know, and people think, oh, it's easy. I'll spend $7,000, $8,000 and I'll buy a laser. You don't do that. You get the information first, and then you go small. Same with routers. You buy something small, little hobby, $200 one. You know? At least this is what I try to tell people. Otherwise, they've got a boat Otherwise, they've got a bit of a boat anchor in their workshop. Okay, so until the next video.